Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and hooray! We've got a new event. It's not Obsidian Festival that we were guessing. If you have been looking around YouTube, you would have seen a lot of Obsidian Festival videos, and look, we're getting operational intelligence. And I guess it somehow makes sense since Obsidian Festival is a summer themed event, and having a summer themed event at end of March, sort of April, just really wouldn't make sense. So I'm actually happy with this change, even though usually I'm like all against like changing with the orders and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, this one makes more sense to me. So as usual, I would be doing a video about should you be pulling Magallan or not. And the short answer is I would probably wait for Obsidian Festival rather than spending all your savings on Magallan. But I will still talk about like how good she is and all that. So if you want to look at that, you can stay. So let's begin. This is Magallan, and she is a summoner. Now, as a lot of you probably would have known, but summoners are actually relatively difficult to use. Not that they're bad, like Deep Color, Maya, and here in this case Magallan, they're all pretty good operators. But usually they require a lot of trial and error to work with like the timing and all that. And that is one of the biggest reason I didn't recommend most of you to be pulling, especially if you're gonna spend all your savings into Magallan. If you really like her, like the penguin girl, yeah, sure, you can pull her. That is your own choice. And if you're a whale, that doesn't matter for you. But for those of you that who's been saving up and want to pull like let's say OP operator or like really strong operator, Magallan is like she's good. She can be used in many situations, but just in general, summoners are just harder to use, like I've said. And I will still go through her skills, and I will tell you like how she can be used in so many different situations and how good she can be used in those situations. So first of all, let's look at her talent. She can summon 3 drones at the same time, but the drones increase as you promote her, which I assume is just that if the drones gets destroyed without retreating, then they just die, and then you have to wait for the next battle. And you can have up to 5 drones in a same match. If you retreat them, they can be redeployed again. That won't hurt the number. But yes, 3 drones at the same time, which means if you include Magallan herself, she can take up to 4 unit limits. Yes, yeah, that is a lot. Her talent 2 is very interesting. The drones that she summoned can be hidden for 12 seconds after deployment and 20 seconds after E2. Very interesting. There can be some special occasions that might come really handy. And now, let's talk about her skills. Her skills is the reason that I think she can be used in so many situations, and hence I think that she can be a really good operator if you're going through the summoner route. This is why. Her skill 1s, actually all of her skills, has passive and active abilities. Passive is just that it changes the ability of her drone and her attack. So, and there is a active skill that like boosts that specific drone and Magallan herself. So her skill 1 is passively Magallan and her drones will slow all enemies within attack range for 0.9 seconds at skill level 7, and at M3 1 second for every 3 seconds. So a third of the time the enemies are slowed. That might not be that significant, maybe. But when her skill 1 is activated, the slow effect changes to bind, and at M3 they can bind for 2.5 seconds every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, bind 2.5 seconds, and then wait for another 0.5 seconds, and then bind for another 2.5 seconds. Can you tell how powerful that is? And that lasts for 15 seconds. So that is roughly about 0.5, 3 seconds. So 12-second bind with all 3 of her drones and Magallan herself all binding at the same time. That is extremely powerful. And if you mix that with like a Mayor is one of those operators that you really need to use her skill to deal damage, so she can explode her drone, the robots that she summons to deal tons of magic damage. But you know, you have to charge the skill to use to deal the damage and to summon more of those robots, right? And if you use Magallan, you can buy Mayor a lot of time. Easy. And like in many situations, you can imagine having a bind is very good. So her skill 1 is already awesome. Let's check out her skill 2. Drones can be deployed on melee tiles and carry out single target magic attack. Okay, that sounds fairly normal. But if you look at the skill 2 activated, Magallan and her drones have plus up to 150 attack speed. 150. And the drone now deals splash magic attack. So AoE magic attack with 3 drones and plus 150 attack speed for 15 seconds. You can see how big of a damage boost that is. Like, they would destroy enemies, and not one enemy. They destroy a bunch of enemies at the same time. This is insane. And yes, drones get retreated after this skill effect. Same with all 3 of her skills. So now at this point, she can bind, she can deal AoE magic attack. Yeah, you can already see how good she is. But let's say, oh my god, the enemy is resistance. They have high resistance. What do? Skill 3, passive. Drones can be deployed on ranged tiles and deal physical splash attack. That pretty much covers all the things that you'll need. All you need from her now is heal. If she can heal, she can do every single role in the game, which will make her way too broken. Now, her skill activated, Magallan and her drones have plus 150% attack at M3. Her base attack isn't that high, so the number, like the plus 150%, might seem really good. But yeah, it's just decent, I would say. It's decent, but not OP. The splash area of her drones increase, so yeah. I mean, just having these 3 skills means that you can use her in all sorts of situations, and as long as you do your studies in the stage, you can just bring different skills of her and she can deal with almost any stages, to be honest with you. That's how good she is. And if you're thinking of doing like a summoner only playstyle, like I will be wanting to try in the future, to work with Deep Color and Mayor and then Magallan, I mean, she will be a really good unit to have. But as I said, she can take up to 4 unit slots, and if you really have 4 extra unit limit, you can probably deploy other units anyway. So yeah, this makes her really niche. There are some stages that she can be really good at, but I wouldn't say there are stages that you must have her. Yes, and I wouldn't say there's any content that you wouldn't need her to beat, like or any other content. And yeah, like I said, she does take more strategy to use. So that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, give my video a like, and if you want more videos like this in the future with all new operators, I will be trying to give you everything that I know of prior to the launch of the operator, and tell you guys if they're worth, or if you should wait a bit more, because this game is rushing so much, and if you're free to play, you probably want to save up more of your randoms for other operators. So I'll see you guys next time.